Okay, so we're going to solving a fraction word problem using a linear equation with variables on both sides. Some of the general stuff that we do need to know is whole equals number of pieces number of pieces times size of pieces. Sometimes that helps us. Sometimes we're looking at what we have. So anytime we do word problems, we do it one sentence at a time. And so this is first problem. There are two we're going to do. So the first problem is Amy's penny bank is half full. So we're talking it's a penny bank. After she adds 280 pennies, it is 3/5 full. How many pennies can Amy's bank hold? So whole bank. So we're talking whole bank. And that's what we're looking for, is how many pennies can Amy's bank hold? We're going to call that X. Okay, so we're just keeping this off to the side, thinking about that. So we're going to translate what we have in the problem into math. Okay, so Amy's penny bank is half full. So we have 1/2 of X, which is the whole bank. After she adds 280 pennies, so plus 280 pennies, it is 5/6 full. So that's going to be, once I have that half full where I started, and we add 280, we're now going to have, so it's going to be equal to 5/6 full, and the full was the whole bank. So X. Okay? Now, we have fractions, we have variables, we want to get them all together, but the one thing that we do want to think about is to combine fractions. The bottoms, the sides of the pieces have to match. And to do that, we want everything to have a fraction, so we can't forget any of the parts. So I need common denominators. There's a couple ways to do it. We can get everything to have the same denominator and work from there, or we can find the least common denominator and multiply everything by that. So we're going to show it two different ways, looking at that. But if I'm looking at the common denominator, LCD, I've got a 6, a 2, and a 1. 2 does go into 6. This is good. 1 goes into 6 too as well. So I'm going to make all these denominators a 6. So this one is going to get multiplied by 3/3. This one would get multiplied by 6/6 because they all have to match. That will give me 3/6x plus 280 times 6, so 200 times 6 is 1200. 80 times 6 is 480. So 280 times 6 is going to be 1,680 over 6 equals 5/6x. All right, so don't forget that whole number needs to have that same common denominator as well. And then I can move all my x's together. So I'm going to subtract 3/6x minus 3/6x. Now remember what I'm subtracting. I can subtract the tops. It's going to become that over the denominator. So I have 680 over 6 equals 2/6x, because 5 minus 3 is 2. Now I can solve this by I have to divide by that coefficient. So what I can do is I can go divided by 2/6. That will cancel out. And then I can do over here divided by 2/6. I've run out of room, so I'm going to scooch the next problem down just so that I have more space. All right, so looking at my mess of what I have 1680 over 6 divided by 2/6 equals x. So keep, change, flip. So 1680 over 6 times 6/2. This cancels with this. 2 goes into both of them. This once. This is going to be 840. And then it equals x. So x equals 840. That's how many pennies her jar will hold. All right, so I could have done this by finding the least common denominator, which was 6. So I'm going to take the same problem. I'm going to look at it a slightly different way. So if I have 1/2 x plus 280, I'm still going to put it over 1, equals 5/6 x. All right, so I wanted to show you if I multiply everything by that LCD. Remember, you can't ignore that fraction in the middle or that number in the middle. So if I multiply this by 6 over 1, this times 6 over 1, and this times 6 over 1, what happens is the 2 goes into the 6 3 times. So this gives me 3x. Denominator is going to be 1, so I don't need to write it. Plus 280 times 6 is still 1,680. Okay, which I'm just multiplying across, and it's going to be over the 1. And then this cancels with this, and I have 5x. So all it did was simplify my equations looking at what I have. I don't have any fractions left with this, and now I still have to solve it. So I have to subtract the 3x minus 3x. And you have 1680 equals 2x. Divide by 2. Divide by 2, and you get x equals 840. So it's still 840 pennies. Sometimes this is another way to look a little bit different instead of the to getting everything with a common denominator. Common denominator, perfectly fine. Also perfectly fine to multiply absolutely everything by the least common denominator to get rid of those fractions. So we're going to be doing both of those, and I will do another example in another video.